Madam, please start.
A warm good afternoon to all the viewers, team members, principals, teachers, and dear students. I am Ranjita Logishetty, Principal of TSMS Nedumnur, Nalgonda District. Welcome you all to the Economics webinar session of the Unit 2, Population and Human Resource Development. How a heart is vital part for every human being, so as the people stand pivotal for their country. Therefore, population means people living in a political or geographical a boundary of a country or a nation at a given point of time. Let us all study in detail in today's session hosted by Srimati P. Joshna Rani, PGT Economics, TSMS, Jakkapalli, Narsapur, Medak District. She has completed her master's in economics as well as commerce. She did her Bachelor of Education. Ma'am worked at Genius High School as a social studies teacher. She worked in various junior colleges as well as degree colleges for 6 to 7 years. Presently, she is working at TSMS Jakkapalli from past 7 years. Madam is having a vast experience of 18 years of teaching profession. Now, over to Joshna ma'am. Welcome ma'am.
A very good afternoon to the webinar team, students of Telangana Model School and the viewers. Myself, Josna Rani, PGT Economics, TSMS Jakkapalli, Narsapur, Medak. Today I am here to discuss about population from the Unit 2, Population and Human Resource Development. See children, first, before entering into the topic, let us try to understand the meaning of population. So here, what is population? Population is nothing but the total number of persons inhabiting a country, city, or any area. Children, we are very well known about the most populous country in the world is China, and the least populous country in the world is Vatican City. Here, according to 2017 census, the total population of Vatican City is only 1,000. This Vatican City is the smallest country in the world as well as the least populous country in the world. Here, let us have a unit overview. In this unit, we are going to discuss about theory of demographic transition, demographic features of Indian population, causes of rapid growth of population in India, remedies for population explosion, population policy in India, occupational and sectoral distribution of population. And the concepts which we are going to learn in this session is theory of demographic transition, demographic features of Indian population, causes of rapid growth of population in India. And children, after the discussion of this unit, and these are the things which we are going to learn about the population and knowledge regarding demographic transition and the various causes for rapid growth of a population. And here, population, it is a study of humans as resource, is vital for economic welfare, and it is particularly important because human beings are not only instruments in productions, but also ends in themselves. Here, human beings are treated as instruments in production. So what is production here? Production is producing goods and services with the help of the factors of production. That is, you all know very well, children, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. With the help of technology, we are producing the goods. And we are only the consumers. We are consuming the goods. We are called as consumers. Consumption in the economics, using of goods and services having an exchange value is consumption. So ultimately, the human beings who consume the goods. So that's why the study of human as a resource is vital, important. That is the reason they are treated as instruments in production as well as in consumption. Then it is necessary to know the quantitative and qualitative aspects of population. So what is quantitative here? Here we are learning about the quantity here, which includes the composition of population, density of population, distribution, growth, size, migration. All these comes under quantity. And qualitative aspects. Under qualitative aspects, we are going to learn this about the education, the development, diet, crime, wealth, etc. Then here we are going to learn about the rapid growth of population. Here, children, rapid growth of population leads to poverty, unemployment, and it becomes a barrier to development. So here, let me try to explain the meaning of poverty. Poverty is defined as a social phenomena in which certain sections of the society is unable to fulfill even its basic necessities of life. And unemployment. Unemployment, a state of unemployment appears when a laborer does not obtain employment opportunities despite his willingness to work on existing wage rate. So this rapid growth of population leads to these problems, and it's a barrier to development. Why we are calling population, rapid growth of population, as a barrier? In India, country's existing population is an obstacle to economic development, because for considering the available utilization of resources and the level of technological progress. Further, the growth of population will result in an additional burden on the economy, in the sense that it will make a larger demand on resources for unproductive purposes. Hence, rapid growth of population is a major constraint on its economic development. And here, in this unit, we are going to learn about theory of demographic transition. In the theory of demographic transition, we'll be learning about the three stages. First stage, second stage, third stage. First, let us try to understand what is demography. Demography is the study of human population. So according to this theory of demographic transition, India and many countries in the world, children, India and many countries in the world passes through three stages in which both the birth rate as well as death rate are typically associated with economic development. Then, in the first stage, here, generally in backward economies, where the agriculture is the main occupation of the people, which leads to the low per capita income, low standard of living, and leads to the high birth rate and the high death rates. In the first stage, high birth rate is matched by an equally high death rate. Thus, the population remains more or less stable. So, countries in the world, in this stage, in the first stage, the countries are underdeveloped. Why? Because the birth rate as well as the death rates are higher. And here, in the first stage, if we go through the table, the first stage is from 1891 to 1921. Here, births per thousand population is 45.8 and death per thousand population is 44.4. Here in the table, we can see more or less birth rates and death rates are equally higher they are. So there is no impact on the population growth. More or less the population will be stable. Here, let us try to understand various causes for high death rates and here, children, In the backward economies, where agriculture is the main occupation, our India is an agrarian society where most of the people, nearly 70% of the population, depends on agriculture for their survival. Here, in agriculture, the per capita incomes are low, results in a low level of standard of living. Here, children in the picture, you can see how the children are living. The standard of living is very low because of low levels of incomes. And even you can see the large number of people live on inadequate and unbalanced diet. That's here in the picture, you can see the poor diets because of the low level of incomes, because of the poverty. People could not afford the minimum basic needs. Inadequate food they are having here. And the poor housing conditions also, you can see children. Here the housing conditions are horrible. In such a situation, people are used to live in the first stage of theory of demographic transition. And here the primitive sanitation also. Here the poor sanitation reduces the human well-being. The sanitation methods which they following will have its impact on the death rates. So here which leads to the high death rates, and this stage prevailed in India before 1921. So here a large number of people live in inadequate and unbalanced diet. Their housing conditions are horrible. In the absence of the educational opportunities, here people they won't send their children because of poverty. They won't send their children for getting education. So the absence of educational opportunities and their outlook towards life become unscientific and traditional and irrational here. So under these circumstances, when medical facilities are limited, the death rates are bound to be high. So these are the reasons, these are the causes for the high death rates. Here in the first stage, even birth rates are also high. So why they are high? Here the birth rates are higher due to the lack of education. We all know that people used to believe, Indians, they used to believe in the superstitions, and they prefer for early marriages. So in the agrarian economy, certain economic factors induce people to have more children. So here, for example, children contribute at an early age to agrarian production, and these children they will become traditional source of security in the old age of parents. And furthermore, the people are indifferent for family planning. Means the people are, they are not at all particular for the family planning. And the first stage uh, prevailed in India before 1921. Now let us come to the second stage of demographic transition. Here in the second stage, what happened? The process of development has started. The process of development has started, and this rapid growth of population due to substantial reduction in the mortality rate and no corresponding decline in the birth rate. So due to the process of development, the mortality rate is a death rate has come down. And here the death rate has come down, but there is no corresponding decline in the birth rate. The population increases at an alarming rate, and economists call this as population explosion. So here, children, let us try to understand the meaning of population explosion. Population increases faster than food supply. Population increases faster than food supply, and this imbalance leads to overpopulation. That's why we call this situation as a population explosion. And Thomas Robert Malthus was the first to state about population explosion. In this stage, the countries are in the process of developing. And India faced the situation during the period 1951 to 1991. Second stage. This is the second stage of demographic transition. Here an imbalance is created in the economy. Why there is an imbalance? It is due to the falling death rate but relatively stable birth rate here. Here children, you can look into the table that from 1921 to 1960, it is the second stage where the birth rates have not reduced, whereas the death rates have come down. Here, in the second stage, the living standards have improved. Education expanded, medical and health facilities are also increased. So here, due to the agrarian society, the death rate could not come down. Here, whatever the process of development has done, these developments like living standards improved, education expanded, medical and health facilities increased, and state made special efforts to check the contagious diseases. So here, children, all these developments generally they bring down the death rate. But as long as the society remains primarily agrarian and education is confined to the narrow section of the society, population increases at an alarming rate. These developments helped only in the reduction in the mortality rate. Now let us try to understand the third stage. A country can overcome the problem of population if the process of industrialization accompanied by urbanization. Here, the economic development rapidly changed. So in the first two stages, it was agrarian economy. Slowly our economy has changed to industrialized one. So in this stage, the birth rate declines significantly, and thus the rate of population growth remains low. And in this stage, the countries are under developing. So when we call a country is developed, when the birth rate as well as the death rate falls below 10%. Here, the third stage, these are the characteristic features of the third stage. That is, in the third stage, low birth rate, low death rate, small family size, and low growth rate of a population. So here, a country faces the problem of population explosion, rapid growth of population in the first phase and the second phase. So too, a country can hope to overcome the problem of population explosion if the process of industrialization accompanied by urbanization is fast. Here we are talking about the fast, and education becomes widespread. So only in this situation, birth rate shows a tendency to fall. So here children, with the growth of industrialization, urbanization increases, and people think that children are usually more of a burden and less of an asset in urban areas than rural areas. Children in the agrarian economies, the people used to take the support of the children. They use it to make the children to work in the fields. They are treated as the assets. But with the growth of industrialization in the towns and cities, the people who are living in the towns and cities, they changed their attitudes towards the families, towards upbringing of the children. Upbringing of the children is not an easy task for women also. Here, life in the city is not same as in the village. People facing the problems of droughts and famines, most of the people, they migrated to the urban areas, to the cities and towns for their sustenance. So when they have migrated, it has become a hard task for them. It's not an easy task for upbringing of the children, and the people started recognizing the merits of a small family, and education helped people to think in a right way. So these are the characteristics or features which we have faced in the third stage of demographic uh, transition. See, children, when process of economic development accelerated, women seek all kinds of employment in order to supplement their family problems. So that's why even the people who are living in the cities and towns, they are taking so many measures to reduce their family size. That is, they just wanted, many of them who are living in the cities and the towns wanted to follow the family planning methods. So here, third stage, that is from 1951 to 1981. These are the characteristic features. You can see the third stage. Here, there is a decline in the death rate we can observe here. And we also see the decline reduction in the birth rate. Even the birth rate has come down. And children, you can see in the picture from 1990 to till 2019, which here India is in the fourth phase of demographic transition. Then what are these stages revealing? These stages reveals the transformation of a primitive high birth and high death rate economy into a low birth and low death rate economy. See here in the graph, it is a graph for demographic transition of economy. Here, children, on the horizontal axis, you can see the different stages, and on the vertical axis, you can see annual birth and death rates per 1,000. In the first stage, children 0 to T, here birth and death rates are higher and the growth rate of population is very much low here. Why it is low? Because both are same here, equally, they are matched equally here. So that's why more or less the population is stable. That's why the growth rate of population is very much low. And the second stage is T to T1. Though the death rate is falling here, children, the death rate is falling, the birth rate is remaining high, and this leads to a higher growth rate of population, which resulted in a population explosion. And the third stage, after T1, both birth and death rates are falling, and again growth rate of population will be low and population increases at a slow pace. So children, try to understand this graph. The three stages are shown here: first stage, second stage, and third stage, where you can find the difference between the birth rate and death rate. How the birth rate is increased, why the birth rate is increasing in the first stage, and how it is falling in the second stage. Then children, let us try to understand world population. So here, what is world population? It refers to the human population. Human population, the total number of human beings living currently in the world is the world population. And children, here the world population is 1 billion in 1830, and it was doubled by 1930. So within the span of 100 years, within the span of 100 years, the world population has doubled. But when you observe, that is the 5th billion, the child of 5th billion, he was born on 11th July 1987 in Yugoslavia. And because he was born on 11th July, we are calling it as World Population Day, on which the child of 5th billion was born. And do you know, children, India's when 1 billionth baby was born? India's 1 billionth baby was born at 5 a.m. in New Delhi Safdarjung Hospital on May 11th, 2000. And the name of the baby is Asta Arora. And baby was officially declared as India's 1 billionth baby. Here, children, world population milestones. So, according to 2011, according to United Nations, world population reached 7 billion on October 31st, 2011, and present the world population is 7.8 billion. So this estimate was given us by Worldometer of United Nations. So here the current world population is 7.8 billion, of July 2020. And what are the projections? So here, the Worldometer of United Nations, it has projected the world population by within the 3 years of time, which was 7.8 billion, it will definitely increase to 8 billion. World population is expected to reach 8 billion people in 2023. And by 2037, world population is expected to reach 9 billion. And by 2057, the United Nations projects world population to reach 10 billion in the year 2057. Now, children, let us try to understand the size and growth of Indian population. We all know that India ranks second in the world. And which is the first one? First one is China. Here, and nearly 17.5% of the total population of the world is living in our country. And the total area is 2.4%. And children, when it comes to the population of 1901, it is 23.6 crore in 1901. And 2001, it has increased to 102.86 crore. And in according to 2011 census, our country's population was more than 121 crore. In the present situation, the population of India is expected to grow to 134.5 crore by the year 2021, and by the year 2060, it is expected to grow to 172 crore. Children, do you know India's population is almost equal to the combined population of USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Japan. So all these countries, the population of all these countries, the number is living in our country. It is equal. When you combine all these countries' population, almost it is India's population. Then the growth of population, children. So here, what is growth of population? Here, population growth rate is rate at which the number of individuals in population is increasing in a given time period. So here, growth of population during the first phase, 1891 and 1921. And here we are going to understand the table, growth of population in India from 1891 to 2019. The compound annual growth rate. The compound annual growth rate, the total annual growth rate from 1891 to 1921. In the 30 years of time, the growth rate was 0.19 per annum, 0.19% per annum. In the first stage, birth and death rates were more or less equal during this period. When it comes to the second phase, that is from 1921 to 1951, the compound annual growth rate of population was 1.22%, which was considered as a moderate. Children, during the third phase, that is 1951 to 1981, there is a record growth of population, that is by 322 million. It has increased by 322 million in the 30 years. So the compound annual growth rate was doubled, that is 2.14%, which is nearly double the growth rate of previous phase. And here 1921, children, listen, here 1921 is regarded great dividing year. Why we are calling it as great dividing year? Here in 1921, India's mortality rate started to decline, leading to acceleration in the rate of population growth. Here, rate of growth of population, mortality rate has come down, whereas the rate of population has increasing, it is accelerating. So that's why the year 1921 is regarded as a great dividing year of population. Now, children, let us try to understand regarding the birth rate, death rate, and infant mortality rates. Children, what is birth rate? Birth rate is a ratio of number of births per thousand population in a year. And death rate is a ratio of number of deaths per thousand population in a year. And children, infant here, infant mortality rates. Who is called as an infant? Infant is a young child under 1 year of age. And infant mortality rate is number of deaths of infants per thousand live births under 1 year of age. Here, growth rate of population. Growth rate, increase in the population. It is a function of birth rate, death rate, and the level and the direction of migration influence the growth rate of a population. So, but in our Indian context, migration is not a significant factor. It will not have much impact on a growth rate of a population. These are the demographics of India. India growth rate is 1.1%. The present growth rate of India is 1.1%, and the birth rate, you can see the birth rate is 18.2 births per thousand population, and death rate is 7.3 deaths per thousand population, and infant mortality rate is 29.8 deaths per thousand population. And on an average, every Indian life expectancy live on an average, every Indian will live for 69.7 years. See children, in the graph, the census years are given, and here in the graph you can see the red color is the death rate, which is falling almost, and the birth rate slowly has declined from 1971, and infant mortality, which was very higher during 1975, is slowly falling. So infant mortality rate is 29.8 deaths per thousand infants, the thousand population in 2020. Then children, the next concept. Here, since independence, the girl child is being discriminated. Girl child is being discriminated so much that female male ratio is horrible. It means very low, because the attitude of the people does not change for the preference of sons. So women and girls, they are facing unequal opportunities for education, development, nutrition, health. For this reason, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched a social scheme. Social scheme. What is that, children? That is Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao on 22nd January 2015 at Panipat, Haryana. And this scheme is intended to generate awareness, improvement, and welfare services for females. Here, children, the saying goes, when you educate a man, you educate a man. But when you educate a woman, you educate a generation. A whole generation will be educated if you educate a woman. So here, the Beti Bachao and Beti Padhao is a social awareness campaign making the parents celebrate the birth of baby girl instead of getting unhappy. Here, so here, what is sex ratio? Sex ratio is female male ratio. Sex ratio is defined as the number of females per 1,000 males. Here, children, Kerala alone shows a higher proportion of females of 1,084 per 1,000 males in 2011, according to 2011 census. Here, children, why Kerala alone? Here, Kerala had a matriarchal society which did not allow discrimination between a daughter and a son. Here, matriarchal society is mother is the head of the family, women is the head of the family. So they will not allow any discrimination between a daughter and a son. Since here women received education and proper health care, and their survival chances were as good as those of males. So that is the reason Kerala alone shows a higher proportion of females compared with males. And here in Punjab and Haryana, females account for 893 per thousand males and 877 per thousand males. This is also according to 2011 census. Children, here in Punjab and Haryana, the ratio is very low, less. So why? Why in these two states? Here, Punjab and Haryana reflect adverse sex ratio. Why? Because these two states, they are predominance of agriculture. These two states, the people, most of the people, they have agricultural fields, they work in the agricultural fields. These two states are predominant of agriculture. And here they prefer more sons, preference for sons. Because when a son grow, when these sons grow, they provide labor for farm. So that was the intention of the people of Punjab and Haryana. That's why they goes on increase the size of the family and the female ratio. They will not allow the females to survive. So that is the reason why Punjab and Haryana shows less sex ratio. Here, why the sex ratio is declining? Let us try to understand the reasons. Why? Poverty. Due to the poverty, higher female infant mortality rates, high mortality rates among women in reproductive ages. So women in the reproductive ages, they will die. The mortality rates are very high. And even the sociological factors are also responsible for declining sex ratio. Here, at present, India has 924 females per 1,000 males. See children, the sex ratio, it's an important social indicator which shows the equality between men and women in a society. Here you can see the table. Here in 1901, females per 1,000 males was 972, and the sex ratio, female-male ratio, has come down to 1924. And this is regarding our Telangana state. According to 2019, the population of our state is 350.04 lakhs, and the male population in that is 176.12 lakhs, and female is 173.92 lakhs. Here, almost 50% of male-female combination is there in our Telangana state. And the sex ratio of Telangana state is 988. Here, number of females per 1,000 males. Graph also you can see, children. You can try to understand the graph also. 1901, it is 972, and slowly it has fallen. Here, the female ratio has come down. And at last, our according to 2019, the sex ratio is 924. It means 924 females are there for 1,000 males. Here, let us try to understand the age composition. So here, study of age composition is very much useful in determining the proportion of labor force in the total population. See here, our country is a young nation, means in our country consists of young generation. Highest young generation in the world found in our country. Here, let us try to understand. Here, when it comes to the age groups are divided into 3 marks. Here, child, who is called as a child? Child 0 to 14 years of age. Children are called as children, that is a child, and working age are from 15 to 60 years of age. People are called as working age, and above 60 years of age people are called as old population or old age people. See here, this 15 to 60 years of age group people are called as productive age group, because they will help in the economic growth of our country. They are called as working age. And here, children, the child that is who below 15 years and above 60 years, they depends on this productive age group for their maintenance and sustenance. And here, children, the next we are going to discuss is regarding the demographic dividend. Here, demographic dividend is nothing but the rise in rate of economic growth due to rising share of working age people in the population. If as the working age people increases, the rate of economic growth also increases. The share of working age people also increases. So here it depends on improving the health care, improving the medical facilities for the working age people, which ultimately helps in the economic growth of a country. So here increasing human resources like education, training, skill-oriented programs. If we provide all these programs to the working age people, the productive age group, it ultimately leads to the economic growth, then to the economic development, which helps in the economic development of a country. You can see the picture here, the working age people, they are working, they are productive age people. See here, age groups. In age groups, we can see 1911, 0 to 14, 15 to 60 and 60 and above are the age groups children. Try to understand various age groups here. In 1911, 0 to 14 years, under 0 to 14 years, only 38.8% of the people, and 15 to 60 years, it is 60.2, and above 60 years, they only 1 point people were there. And when it comes to the 2019 census, age group in under 0 to 14 is 26.62, and 15 to 60 is 67, and above 60 is 6.38. Children, let us understand age composition of India's population. India is a young nation. In the literal sense of the term, more than half the India's population consists of young people. Ours is a young generation. More young people live in our country. More than half of the India's population consists of young people. See here, children, the age distribution indicates that on an average, every one person earn for himself and for dependent. Why he is earning for dependent? Because the dependency ratio in India is high. Just now we have discussed who will depend on the working age? Children as well as the aged people. So the dependency ratio in our country is very high. Here, a rapid increase in labor force creates pressure for creation of employment opportunities. Children, we are just now we have seen that half the India's population is young people, and this young people increases the labor force, which creates a pressure for creating of employment opportunities. So if the economy is growthless, jobless, if the economic growth is jobless, here simply we are increasing the quantity, we are producing goods and services. If the government is not providing jobs to all, this if it is not ruled out, it may create social unrest and social evils in the society. So here, unless the rapid growth of unemployment cannot be ruled out, it may create social unrest and social evils in the society. Here, children, let us try to understand the concept of population explosion. This Thomas Robert Malthus was the first to state a systematic principle of population in his famous book Essay on the Principle of Population in 1798. Here, the Malthusian theory explains the relationship between growth in food supply and in population. According to him, population doubles if unchecked in every 25 years, and food supply increases slowly due to the operation of a law of diminishing returns. So, according to him, population increases faster than food supply, and this imbalance leads to overpopulation. This is called population explosion. See children, let us try to understand the causes for rapid growth of population in India. Mainly we have three causes: lower death rate, high birth rate, and immigration. Children, here in we have discussed about population and world population, Indian population, age structure, all we have discussed in this class. And here we and regarding the other factors, regarding the population explosion, the topic population explosion, we will have a discussion in the next session, children. And here, let us try to understand what we have learned. Till now, we have learned the concept of population. We have learned different stages in demographic transition. We have learned demographic features of Indian population. And we are going to learn the concept of population in the next session, children. So, children, as it's like a work to you, you people try to define birth rate, define death rate, and regarding population explosion also, you try to define now. Thank you, children. I hope you all have understood the concept, and let us continue the thing in the next session. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for a very good session where you have highlighted most of the points in tabular form as well as graphical presentation to make the students understand the topic population in a very better way. Hope all the listeners have understood the content about the theory of demographic transition, its three stages, and what are the causes for growth of population in India. Children, I believe you all have noted down the points and hope that you will be ready for the next session. Thank you all. Thank you to be as a good listeners. Thank you for making the 3 sessions successful for today. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.